because the Tropic of Cancer, when you understand that, it's at 23.5 latitude. And what's so deep about that is Psalms 23, 5. It clearly say, "Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over." Hint the whole aspect of the anointing. This stuff is this deep, y'all. And when you understand the Tropic of Cancer too, the Tropic of Cancer is the furthest north of the earth, the furthest north part of the earth, where the sun rays are basically giving off the most energy. And at noontime, remember the Messiah was crucified at noon. And what's so deep about that is because when you understand the whole aspect of that, with like the whole aspect of that with the Tropic of Cancer, which she left out in Miami, hint the whole aspect of the Bermuda Triangle. And I'm gonna get into this later on, but just pay attention to how the Bermuda Triangle is literally pointing towards the Gulf of Mexico. The highest point is pointing towards the Gulf of Mexico. I'm gonna delve deep into this because this stuff is this deep, man. Talking about the part with the whole aspect of the highest point north, hint the whole aspect of the Illuminati pyramid, removing the cap piece, because all the cap represent is nothing but the Messiah. Hint, as it's written anyway in Psalms 118:22, that the cornerstone, the one that the masons, the stone builders reject to use, have become the headstone of the corner, aka the Messiah. This stuff is this deep, man. And I'm about to take it even further because you see how she went missing. Like I said, she went missing in the Pacific Ocean. When you know about Hawaii, Hawaii was literally made by what? By volcanic eruption, by fire. And when you notice how she took off in Florida, when you understand Florida, I'm gonna get deep into that later on. But when you understand Florida, Florida aspect represents, how the palm trees is and it's always like, hot temperature. I'm gonna get into that later. And California aspect, the West Coast is you have the palm trees and everything. It's like the left and right hand side. But when you understand that too, which is so deep, Hawaii during the Civil Rights March, this was the Selma to Montgomery March for voting. And when you understand voting anyway is democracy, aka demon possession. That's all democracy. Demo, demon, and then Chrissy mean possession. So when you understand that, this stuff is that deep because Obama was born in Hawaii. But I'm gonna get into this a little later on. But when you understand that, that's why the first march, when they tried to march without basically they was trying to just march. All the blacks was just marching and they wasn't integrated. Remember, that's when they had went through the whole beating and all of that. But notice when they came back integrated, they couldn't be touched. And that's when the voting rights happened because the voting represent what? Gaining the voice. But when you understand the whole aspect going back to Hawaii, made out of fire, out of, you know what I mean? That's like practically like it's hell's paradise. I just put it like in that sense. This is why I said the Pacific Ocean is the horse latitudes. That's why Little Nas X had to do the Old Town Road with the horses. And then now you notice he had the video when he was sitting on Satan's lap like a horse. Because it's showing they reeling in that whole hell agenda. I'm gonna get into it real deep. But pay attention how they in a red car, because this car, the red car, represents nothing but the Messiah's crucifixion. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna get into that in a minute. And then you notice how with that, how he able to get the money because it's the serpent on the pole, aka nothing but like the Mercury serpent on the pole. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna get into this. But when you understand the whole aspect, the car, aka Car L, is nothing but like the royal sacred bull representing the Most High, and L represent nothing but the royal like the royalty, the rod of royalty. You see what I'm saying? Rulership. But this stuff is that deep, man. Let's keep this thing rolling.